good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ogbanje Joseph. Please hit the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel. Like and share this video as well as drop a comment on the comment section. Today, we're going to be talking about the theory of foreign policy. Theory of foreign policy, and we're going to be using Nigeria as an example. So we're going to be looking at theory of Nigerian foreign policy. Okay, so now the first thing is to look at the concept of a theory. What is theory? Now, ordinarily, theory is said to be a set of principles that are made to guide and operationalize certain events and phenomena. The theory of Nigerian foreign policy is said to be anchored on concentrism. Concentrism. Now, scholars as well as practitioners of one, at one point or the other, have actually popularized four concentric cycle, to guide the Nigerian foreign policy. And and one of the scholars that is actually most popular, with this intellectual disposition is a man called Ibrahim Agbola Gambari, in 1986. Okay, now the assumption of the theory are fourfold as identified in the concentric cycles. Now, what is even this concentric cycle? Concentric cycle itself could be said to be a cycle within a common center. So within a common center, concentric cycle. You understand? Now, if you have a cycle and then you have a common center to that cycle, that is a concentric cycle. So the Nigerian foreign policy actually has had a common center over the years. So it is revolving around a common center. So, but we're going to be looking at this common center, you understand, from the perspective of these fourfold concentric cycles. Now, let us take them one after the other. The first concentric cycle of Nigerian foreign policy revolves around Nigeria's national interest of independence, sovereignty, and prosperity, as well as Nigeria's relations with her immediate neighbors. Okay. So now, who are the immediate neighbors? Of Nigeria? We have Benin Republic, we have Chad, we have Cameroon, we have Niger Republic, and so on. So, but the strategic importance of neighborliness cannot be overemphasized. The sovereignty and territorial integrity of Nigeria's entity has a strategic connection with the peaceful coexistence or otherwise of neighborliness. In Nigeria, efforts to ensure peace and conflict-free sub-regional entity contacts were made with these immediate neighbors to thwart any form of security threats and penetration within the immediate border of Nigeria, Cameroon, Chad, Benin Republic, including Niger Republic and others. That is why during the Nigeria Civil War, when France actually opted, to pass through Nigeria's neighbor to come to actually hit Nigeria, okay, the neighbors, particularly Cameroon, actually said, look, under Paul Biya, I think, you understand, actually said there's nothing, Nigeria has not done anything wrong to them for Nigeria to deserve, this. Okay, so neighborliness is actually very important as far as a state is concerned, as far as a state's foreign policy is concerned. This is because if you want peace and you want security within your country, your neighbors also needs to be peaceful. If they are not peaceful, of course, whatever happens, will have a demonstration effect in your country. So good neighborliness is actually one of those things that is very germane when Nigeria or any nation at all is talking about, her foreign policy. That is actually the first concentric cycle of Nigeria's, foreign policy. The first concentric cycle, you know, of Nigeria's, foreign policy. Okay, so those are the things. Those are the things. So the strategic importance of this neighbor can never be overemphasized. Now let us look at the second concentric cycle of Nigeria. Now the second concentric cycle of Nigeria's foreign policy, okay, is said to be revolving around Nigeria's relations with West Africa. Nigeria's relations, with West Africa. Nigeria's relations with West Africa sub-region. Now, this is because Nigeria was able to actually champion, okay, the campaign that led to the formation of Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. So much so that there will be improvement of economic fortune of member states. Okay, now the ECOWAS member states were said to be 16 until December 2000 that Mauritania declined her membership, which subsequently reduced the number to 15 in her effort to achieve regional development. Nigeria has motivated the initiation of free movement of persons and goods within the ECOWAS member states. The sub-regional organization of ECOWAS also collectively achieved the unification and the operation of ECOWAS passport, and now continually pursuing the issue of common currency within the ECOWAS sub-region. ECOWAS military operation, okay, group for peacekeeping, okay, mission within the sub-region was eventually formed, okay, for the purpose of ensuring peace and security within the sub-region, and Nigeria was actually instrumental to the formation of that, to ensure this, and all of that. Now, and to ensure, they ensure the success of ECOMOG, which is a military operation group, okay, that is ECOWAS military operation group, okay. At different times, Nigeria, spearheaded the achievement of peace in the sub-region, as seen in Liberia, that is in 1990, Sierra Leone in 2004, and so Cote d'Ivoire, Gambia, Mali, and even this present Niger Republic. So Nigeria has actually been instrumental, to ECOWAS country, ensuring that there is peace, and there is also, there is also the replacement of autocratic regime with democratic regime. And that is exactly what is happening in Niger Republic today. That Nigeria, of course, under the auspices of ECOWAS, Nigeria is actually championing, this move that the military juntas should hand over powers to the democratically elected government that has been ousted. Okay, so from time to time, Nigeria has actually been instrumental, to peace and security within the sub-region. Now let us look at the third concentric cycle of Nigeria's foreign policy. The third concentric cycle of Nigeria's foreign policy is said to be revolving around Nigeria, around Nigeria's relation with the continent Africa. Africa as a continent where Nigeria found itself to be from is so strategic to the understanding of Nigeria's foreign policy. In fact, at a point, and in many times, Nigeria's foreign policy was adjudged to be Afrocentric due to its regular consideration of the immense importance of Africa. In view of the above imperative, Nigeria was able to massage the necessities for the formation of the Organization of African Unity in 1963. Many African countries gained independence after many African countries gained independence. Similarly, in 2000, it was discovered that there were inadequacies inherent in OAU. And of course, Nigeria, under the leadership of President Olusegun Obasanjo, also initiated this discussion to rebrand and rejuvenate, the continental organization by taking care of those inadequacies, thereby, leading to the change of nomenclature from AAU to AU. And Obasanjo, as the president of Nigeria, was also made the chairman due to his contribution. Achieving regional peace and development in all regional ramifications has been said to be the concern of Nigeria's foreign policy. Therefore, Nigeria engaged herself in performing so many roles in order to achieve its stated goal. For instance, Nigeria's role in dethroning apartheid regime, in South Africa, the Nigeria's intervention to come to an end to the crisis in Mali, and of course, protracted crisis in the Darfur region of Sudan, and of course, at a point, on the United States request, Nigeria granted asylum to Charles Taylor, in order to bring in, in order to actually ensure that there is peace in Liberia. What is important is that Nigeria has actually performed a lot of very strategic role in the African continent. If not for anything, Nigeria ensured that the change in nomenclature is not just done because of political reason, but also for economic reason. You understand? The reason being that, of course, EU is actually an economic, transmuted from political organization to economic organization. And that is exactly what Nigeria tried to do by transmuting OAU to AU, sometime in 2004. And the reason for that is because Nigeria was looking at how the whole of Africa's economy can be integrated so that the continent can actually benefit a great deal from it. So that is actually one of it. So another concentric cycle of Nigeria's foreign policy, revolves around Nigeria's relation with the international organizations and states outside Africa. In other words, it is anchored on Nigeria's relation with the rest of the world. In view of the above, it can be deduced that Nigeria has engaged consistently the multilateral relations as exemplified by her membership of many international organizations such as AU, Non-Aligned Movement, OPEC, OPEC. Then we have Nigeria is also having good relationship with, European Union, Organization of American States, and of course, it is obvious that Nigeria's relations with other countries of the world is strategically important, because of international politics, which will always remain sacrosanct. What is important is that Nigeria will continue to actually have, this interaction with the rest of the world, because that is actually the fourth concentric cycle of our foreign policy. That is Nigeria's interaction with the rest of the world. beyond Africa. Okay, so it is important that Nigeria actually, it is important that Nigeria ensures that it has a very good rapport and relationship with the rest of the world. Thank you very much.